Good morning. Welcome to East by West Farms. Here we grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Today I hope I can finish the roof for the chicken coop. So far, it has been the most challenging part of building the chicken coop. I finished the other side. The first thing I needed to do is to build the flying rafter. For the flying rafter, I'm going to use 2x4 for that. And so on the other end, I clamped a block of wood so I can sit on it and tighten this side. So I put a screw over here to hold it up, and then I need to line the other end up to make sure it's flush with the deck board. So I need to get okay, so I can feel it by my hand to see if it's lined up with the deck board or not. And once I know it's lined up, then I can try to okay, so that seems to be good. Mounting the flying rafter with the mounting rafter over here, I basically clamp a piece of block of 2x4 underneath it, and so I can clamp that to the rafter, and then I clamp the flying rafter on the block over here. Then I can screw this on the rafter. And it's easier to move the deck board away, so I can stand up. Haiying rafter is on. So I can bring the plywood here using a wheelbarrow. And since the barn is not powered yet, so I have to use the deck over here to cut the deck. I'm going to use a circular saw for that. I could use a hand saw, but that will be a little bit too tedious. So far I have been able to build the chicken coop without any power tool except the drill and the screwdriver. But I think in this case, the power tool is just necessary. For the roof deck, the deck also need to have a bevel that matches the roof pitch. So I will cut the plywood in two parts. First, I will cut it straight, because if I cut it direct with the bevel, the other side of the plywood, the cutter of the plywood, will be kind of bent and stuck the chainsaw, the saw. So if I cut straight, I can cut without problem, and then I will come back, finish the bevel with another run. For that, I don't have to line it up. I don't have a straight edge, so I'm just going to use a board for that. But just make sure that if you're using a board, make sure you have a relatively straight edge, and also you don't have any bevels. For example, in this case, the 2x4 will not work. The guide plate of the circular saw will just get stuck in the bevel. Okay, so double check. So you unplug it. So now I need to adjust my blade to meet the roof pitch. And what I'm going to do is using this cut off as a template for that. So that basically give me the same pitch as the roof, and then I can tighten it down. Okay. So now the blade is at that 412 pitch that I can use to cut the bevel. move the roof deck up to the roof, and that is not an easy task. So before you put the roof deck up, make sure you put a temporary fissure to stop it from sliding down the roof when you get it up there. And that happened to the other side, so this time I'm smarter. So I put the fissure up over here, and so it will catch the roof if it doesn't. It will catch the deck if we want to slide down the roof. So of course, make sure your roof is aligned properly. The bevel side is facing the ridge, and I have this ladder that also has some runs that kind of make it difficult. All right. Once I get here, I can pull this 2x4 out to catch it in case I need a rest. And now I can move up the ladder and so that's where you want to have the fissure board so that it can catch it if you want to slide down. All right. To put the fascia board on. On that side, I just clamped a clamp so that so it will kind of hold the fascia board in place until I fix it to the other end. So on this side, what I'm going to do is just put one screw in so that it will hold. With the fascia board installed, I can put the drip edge on, and I will just nail it with some galvanized nails. To be safe, I put some silicone glue underneath the drip edge just to make it more watertight. Now I'm coming to this end to trim the tar paper, to trim the tar paper and put the drip edge on. So this is what the roof with the tar paper look like. Now I'm ready to put the roof on. And the tar paper is meant to catch the condensation from the metal roof. So it doesn't need to be very, basically it doesn't need to be very robust because above it, it will have the metal roof. One thing I want to point out is that how you set the tar paper with the drip edge. So you can see here is the fascial side of the drip edge. So the tar paper should go on top of it so that the water on the tar paper can flow down and get on the drip edge and drip it down. So on this side, on this edge, that's the gable side of the drip edge. So that's the gable side drip edge. So in this case, the tar paper should be underneath the gable side drip edge. And so the water come down and flow down. The tar paper should be go horizontal, parallel to the ridge line, never go vertical. And also, you can see that you usually lay it at the bottom one first, and then put the overlap of the top one on top of the lower part. So that way you water come down and then it flow from the top to the bottom. So the final step of finishing the roof is to put the metal roof on, and choose the metal roof because it's 100% recyclable. And so the first thing I needed to do is to cut this to the right length. And what I'm going to do is using the tin snipper. So right now I have actually all four stacked up, and they are all lined up. So I can, I will just measure. We have about, the roof is with the overhang and everything is 5 feet, is 60 inches. And so I measured that and then kind of nip at the edge so that this way I mark all of them at the same time. And then I will do the same thing on this side. So I use a blade to mark it first. Use the tin nipper to cut it. So now I can use this to line it up, and using a box cutter to mark. Then I can use the tin slip to cut it. Just make sure you wear gloves. This is very sharp edges. You can cut yourself very easily. The metal roof will be mounted on this strip, and before I put the strip on the deck, what I will do is I have this tape that is designed for this. I will just tape it. Put the tape on the strip first. That makes things easier to put it on the deck. believe that the roof is finally done. I may need to come back and fix a few things, but for now it will stand and it will provide protection for the structure. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the thumb up button. If you have not done so, please hit the subscribe button to follow our journey with the East by West Farms.